What's up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be doing a tier list for both the supporter role as well as the healer role. Now, this is going to be a couple little series that I'm going to try to keep updated as the time goes by. It's pretty much going to go with all the global characters as well as all the TW characters upwards to pretty much show you guys where they are landing in their specific role. Now, I'm going to have this. The tier list is still going to be S all the way to D rank, and pretty much how it's going to go as usual. We're going to rank them accordingly for where they are and where I believe they are in 4.7.1 currently, and then as the updates do happen, we'll move them accordingly. Now, this is based on the character's entire kit alone, and of course their viability inside of some teams as well, so do keep that in mind. Most characters I'm going to try and keep multiple out of the same role for at least the top ranking, mainly because we want to make sure this is like the best of the best. You know what you're really going for this role queue, and it's just going to be the ones that you really want to target. Now, we're going to have, of course, brief explanations as well, which is why I have lufel.net up right here, so you guys will be able to at least follow along with me here, and that's going to be really good to do. But before we get into the video, be sure, of course, to check down below in our description as well as in the comment section. I am once again asking you guys to really look at Raid Shadow Legends as well. This is a partnership that is very important to me, and they have done a huge offer for me where they're going to be trying to help me get a new PC build, but we have to get some metrics up as always. So if you can give Raid a shot, sign up with the link, try it out, even if it's only like 5 to 10 minutes. Just sign up and try it out. Tell me what you think about it. If you hate it, you hate it. If you like it, cool. We want to see at least if you guys would enjoy it. To be honest, you get an account that has pretty much $200 worth of items that you can end up obtaining, and all you have to do is just progress through the game. So always check it out. As always, thank you once again, Raid Shadow Legends, and let's get straight into the video. So we're doing the tier list for all of the healers as well as all of the supporters here. So these are characters such as like Lufel as a healer, for example, and then our supporters would be like something as if Chord, right? And we're going to try to rank these accordingly. Now, how I'm doing this is when it does come down to any of the 4 stars, obviously they're going to be a lot lower. And the main reason that they're going to be a lot lower is because, of course, during this time, we're not using them on TW like that. So obviously just keep that in mind. Don't take anything harsh about it. Even on global, they're going to be a lot lower to some extent. If they're higher on global, obviously I will move them up, especially if they're the only one in that role queue. But let's go ahead and move toward with it right now here. Starting off with our supporters for at least our 4 stars immediately, I would like to say our good man Leon is probably a good B tier for at least a what's it called, a 4-star itself. You're still able to actually get him in here and do pretty darn well with him as an A6 character, and on TW he still is a good option to go ahead and use, seeing that the guy himself is still offering you guys a ton of crit damage increase, attack percent, shields, you name it, he does got it, and he's going to be very helpful. So I think this is the right place to put him, and let's continue moving on. Now for our next few characters, things are going to get a little bit interesting here. The next one that we're going to go ahead and go over is going to be Lufel. Now Lufel himself is going to be at the bottom of the barrel here as a 4-star supporter, and that's going to be the D tier. Now he is a oh wait, sorry, I said supporter, I meant healer, but we're gonna continue with the supporters first. My bad right there, I skipped ahead of my freaking list. The next one that's going to be here is going to be the D tier, which is Moko. Moko herself, she's just not really useful at all inside of TW anymore, and on global I think she would probably float into maybe B tier, C tier, but currently definitely if we're looking at the versions at hand, she really isn't helping out too much. Now don't get it twisted, Moko still helps you with at least some attack increases, same as damage taken increase to the enemies, while also boosting up ailment accuracy. So I mean, like, you can use her, just do understand that she's not too usable right now with the TW things that's happening, and even on global she's not the best one to go to. Now for our next supporter, who is a 4-star, we have Luce. Now Luce is in a very interesting predicament here because this character himself I would like to put up here with Leon, but the only reason I just can't do it is because although he is a very good buffer, he's pretty much a jack of all trades, but he is a master at none. So pretty much you have element accuracy is able to do, damage bonus able to do, pierce rate increases, attack increases, everything you really want a buffer to do, he does pretty nicely, but the problem is his performance is very interesting. He's very flexible on this. He's able to do buffs that you want him, but his buff values themselves are very low and kind of weird to say the least. And it's kind of more of a flickering through different buffs that you do have, but you're not really going to be doing the most out of any of them. So I decided to put him in at least the C tier because I don't really want to put him above Leon, and I don't think he belongs really on the same tier as Leon just yet, but that is most likely where he's going to be at. Now, those are all the buffers, if I'm right, for the 4 stars themselves. Let me double check because I don't remember. Let me check my script again. Nah, we didn't skip anyone here. We have the bulletin boards here. Let's go ahead and go to our 4-star healers. Now, 4-star healer wise, let's be honest, we only have one healer, and unfortunately for this dude here, he is going to be at the bottom of the barrel of D tier. He is very helpful on global still, so technically on global he might be a C tier. He's definitely not at B with Leon, because if we were talking about global, Leon would be A or S, but right now we're going overall in all of the versions from 4.7.1, which is the highest version currently. Poor Luful, he's still pretty decent. He does help you out with the heals that you need. He helps you out with burns. He helps out with attack increases, but he is just the bottom of the barrel, seeing that we have other healers now available on TW, making him a D tier character. Still nice to invest in a little bit right now, but later on he's just gonna go bye-bye. So that is all of the 4 stars that we're doing for the supporter value and the healer value. Let's go ahead and go to the 5 stars for their actual roles as well for the supporter and healer values. Starting off with one of the lowest type people who are going to be for the healers, that is going to be Morgana. Now, unfortunately, Morgana is at the same tier as Luful here, where both of them are still good. Like, you can get some decent heals out of them, but compared to the healers that we're having to deal with here, they don't do all too much. The only thing with Morgana that he's able to actually go ahead and help you out with is crit heals, which to be honest isn't all too special anymore. And then the Windswept, the debuff. Windswept is always nice, but we have many characters as well as other characters that give out better debuffs than Morgana does currently. So there's just not really a need to have him in a higher tier, putting him at the D tier, especially if Luful's down here as well. Now, granted, I know there's going to be some people saying, but he has a revive. The one thing that a lot of people have to understand is if you're actually forcing yourself to use a revive, most likely you're doing something wrong in your team. Normally, you should not be dying at all, especially when we're thinking about team synergy and even the characters kit themselves. Usually, if you have a revive, it's meant to be used with the passive that you're intentionally killing yourself. Someone like Luce that is able to do this as well, revive himself, keep his buffs, and continue doing some damage. Unfortunately, Morgana doesn't really provide this here. He's just helping you out with a revive, and it's only bound to his highlights, so it's just not good enough to really warrant him going any higher. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the next character that is of the healer variety here, and this character is going to be in the A tier, being Marian. Now Marian here, let's go ahead and pop her on in wherever the heck she didn't went. Where's she at? Here she is. She is going to be an A tier character in our first A tier healer because, to be honest, she's insanely good. She does provide you what you do need here, being that you have obviously debuff removal. You're able to increase your HP, you have damage bonuses, and even you're able to knock up your pierce rate if you end up getting the A1. It's really good to honestly have this character. But the only downside about this is when it does come down to both of these compared to the characters that are going to be above them, it's unfortunately that they do fall off just a little bit, and that's mainly because the buffs that they have are going to be bound to their awarenesses. In order to really get the extra buffs and get that extra oomph out of them, you do want to have some of their awarenesses to give them that extra oomph. When you just look at their basic hit as just A0 or even at A1, the buff that Marian does get is for Pierce, and it's pretty nice, but it's not enough to make her into the S tier, especially when it comes down to the one healer that's in the S tier category. And the same thing can be said with Moko, who's going to be joining the A tier as well. Both of these characters are insanely good. They do, of course, heal very nicely, but right now with the amount of things that they're able to do, and Moko is able to help you out with element accuracy, defense reduction, and including damage taking properties, it's just not enough to really warrant her being in the A tier version. Reasoning for this is because the character that's joining them in the S tier version is honestly disgustingly good. And this is mainly before the what's it called, the Zenkai boost that they kind of have in the game right now. I don't think anyone has really checked out the actual boosting for Moko as well. so I can't say too much on that standpoint. But for now, I would like to put her in the A tier category, being still a really good buffer, or at least being a good healer, but not good enough to pass our S tier. Now going for our S tier healer here, this is going to obviously be Yukari. Now the reason why Yukari is up here, and which was finer, here she is because she's actually pretty darn flexible. Yes, she is meant for obviously the P3R collab characters here, but she can also go with just regular characters themselves. The reason why she's so good is just one, the meta right now is very in tune to her, and based on her base kit, she has able to not only do debuff removal, attack increases, pierce rates, damage bonus here, but she can also increase your highlights damage. She's able to third charge as well, and it's none of it is actually bound by her awarenesses. She can do this at A0, so you don't have to do any crazy investment with this here, and her heals are incredibly strong. So no matter how you go about this character, she's insanely easy to build, has much more options at her beginning just use, and honestly is part of the best teams in the game. So why wouldn't you want to go ahead and put this character at the highest that she can be, which is the S tier factor? You guys obviously can tell me down below how you feel about it, but I do believe that she belongs here. Now going ahead and talking about the rest of the characters, which is going to be now facing our buffers here. When compared to the healers, we already have our healers all practically set, seeing that that's all of them in the game. Buffers is where I had to kind of draw the line a little bit more. Now this one, for a lot of people, it's going to be very hard to see, and I know it's going to hurt me as well, but I do want to say that this is kind of an interesting one here, and I probably should, I want to put a middle ground here, but I think they're all going to be on the same tier, so you guys will probably hate me for this, but we'll see about it. But going immediately with our actual buffers here, the first character that we're going to be going about is going to be Chord. Now the problem with this, Chord is another A tier character. Chord herself is insanely good still. She's able to be used on a ton of different teams, but currently we're slowly drifting away from her meta, and that's not really a bad thing at all. She's still really good. If you decide to go over A1, like went to A6, obviously she's still like a T0 character, but seeing that A1 is usually like the benchmark at this point for Chord, I would definitely say that she's in the tier list A, or at least in the A tier. Now granted, if we decided to do an SS tier, she'd probably be an S, and then Yukari and then would be like SS. Like we'll have some characters move up and such like that, or have some characters stay still down, but she's just not good enough to put in the S tier range, especially with the couple other supporters that we are going to be pairing alongside of her. And actually I ended up skipping one of the 5-star supporters here, which was actually going to be Riddle. She was supposed to be announced first, but I accidentally kind of skipped over her. But she is a lower tier character. She's going to be in the C tier area. Main reasoning for this is because the only thing that she really provides is like attack increases as well as damage bonuses. Other than that, it doesn't take too much that she can do. And her rotation, although it's a 1-3 rotation, the only problem with her is she doesn't provide much. She's not really giving you all too much, and the only thing that you get out of her is going to be that attack boost and party damage increase boost, which is only going to come away from her skill 3. If you want to have this as well, you need to make sure that your stacks are in line, so it kind of puts her in a very high deficit compared to the rest of the teams or rest of the characters. It's the reason she's in C tier. Now for the rest of A tier, this is where a lot of people are going to be kind of mad at how I'm doing this here, and which is one of the reasons why I wanted to say I could put another tier, but right now we're just going to stick how it is. These two characters are fighting also inside of the A tier category, and that is obviously going to be Winvast, who is going at a rank or like an A1, because a lot of people are really invested into her as A1, much like Chord. And then the next one is going to be Turbo. All three of these characters are exceptionally good, and they're used immensely, which is the reason why I went to put them all on level playing field, seeing that each and every last one of these guys are really good. They're really good. The only problem is with each of them, their person who is above them absolutely blows them out of the water. They do have their downsides to them. For example, Winvast herself is exceptionally good. She helps you out with crit rate, crit damage, obviously with SP recovery and damage bonuses, which is always great. But to get majority of her actual rotation correctly and actually using her to the utmost peak amount, you still need to have her with at least one dupe. which does kind of set her back a little bit. Unlike the other character who's in S tier, you don't really require a dupe at all. She just is insanely good, while Rico herself, not only is she insanely good at A0, but the problem is a lot of her lying factors are one of the things that makes her really good, which is the critical damage taken that you get from the A1, as well as the increased attack damage that you get from the A1. You have to have the A1 for it. You can't really get this out of the base kit, hence the reason now she's at the A tier level. Now for Turbo as well as Chord, it's more like Chord herself is one of the few characters that is slowly dying off. I already explained her pretty well, where she can go into multiple teams, but with the current way that the game is going, we're slowly straying away from highlights and we're starting to go into more complex related rotations and more complex related teams that require other buffers, such as like just straight up damage buffers that actually need healers, that actually need sustains. And unfortunately, Chord is only excelling at the crit rate and highlight functions. Unfortunately, that's what keeps her down here. And I guess you can say the same for Turbo. Unless you have dupes on Turbo, really, you're also going to be down to having her in the A tier function, seeing that this character performs exceptionally good. But if you really want to like do the utmost out of it, getting her dupes is going to allow you to do the best. Reason for Turbo, you do want to have at least her, like, I think it's her A1, because then it allows you to start getting your speed even faster and actually be able to take care of her whole kit even better. Alongside of this, you're starting to get your buffs on each of those increased even more so, and that's where Turbo starts to really excel. Not only does she have the extra turns in her back pocket, but the damage bonus and her pierce rate up just makes everything a lot better. Now, she is included in a ton of teams, and in fact, I think in some functions more than Chord nowadays, but at the same time, I don't think it's better than Rico herself to slowly move this character up to the S tier function. And the reason that we have that is because the one character that is a healer, or at least that is a supporter that is going to the S tier function, is going to be Summer Marian. Summer Marian is very good at her probabilities that she actually has on the team here. And when I say very good, I mean it's kind of unfair. The character herself not only has the crit rate functionality, but the crit damage functionality, as well as debuff, what's called. She's able to debuff you with defense. She's able to increase your damage bonus. She literally has a catalog of items that allows her to do whatever she really wants. You need attack percentage, she has it. These items are all specific to her usage, which is always great. She's able to, of course, increase your defense. You're able to get damage dealt increases. There's even one that is currently in the meta right now that's increasing our highlight damage and even just the damage dealt in general for a lot of our characters. Characters such as Barry, who is a single target character, can also use one of her skills or one of her items being like the DLT effect item that absolutely makes her bleeds hit insane numbers. It's kind of hard to top a character like Marian, especially seeing that part of her kit not only allows her to buff her items, but also not utilize her turn when using an item. It's kind of crazy because when you have all of this stuff built into one kit and this can be accessed at A0, it truly just makes it hard to deny where this character belongs inside the tier list scaling. But alas, that is how this is going to be for at least the healer and support tier list. You guys comment down below how y'all feel about this. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? The next one that I do think I'm going to end up doing is going to be our debuffers and our debuffers, defenders, and our navies all together, mainly because they all have a little bit of people in them. So obviously we're going to try and see how that does work here. But thank you guys for watching on this one. Once again, be sure to check out the link down below for Raid Shadow Legends. I'm really trying to at least increase my quality on a lot of my videos, so all help would be freaking great, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Peace out.